Mitchell Gumko, and it is week 9 of geology. And this week we are talking about structures and rock structures. And the rock structure I chose was the Isle Royale in the Keweenaw Peninsula, which, as you can see, is right here. There is Isle Royale, in the middle of Lake Superior, and there's Keweenaw Peninsula at the it's the tip of the UP. And so the Lake Superior separates them both, and this is a U-shape structure, so we know it can't be mainly a anticline or a dome, and it doesn't even look like a dome. Kind of looks like a basin, but we'll get into more of that in a little bit. And so it's a boundary between a mid-continent rift and other pre-Cambrian terrains. Lake Superior is the result of the combination of a geological syncline, which helped form a structural basin. So you can see the basin right here. That's what I was talking about earlier. The basin, as you can tell, it's the opposite of a dome, and it looks pretty similar to a dome, but if a dome would go up, and this is going down, so that's why it's a basin. And so the syncline too, because the U shape, obviously. So opposite of it's a basin that has been subsequently enhanced to the actions of the glacier. So the glaciers has affected probably the weight and the shape of it and all the pull on it, which excavated the softer rocks which previously occupied the middle of the syncline. So it's changed where the rocks are and what type of rocks are at the surface. And now this was actually kind of cool too, I thought. It was pretty similar to the East African Rift. As parts of the continent tried to separate, it was similar to them, but then the East African Rift actually did a lot more, obviously, because this is in the lake, but now it's in the ocean. So it's a little similar to that, but it's not anymore. It was. The Keweenaw Fault is on the eastern side, so this is the eastern side of the rift or the structure, and this is the western island, or Isle Royale is on the western side. And most of the rock generally dip about 20 degrees, so it's not crazy, 90-ish vertical, and 0 is flat, so it's not a crazy dip, but most of the rocks do dip 20 degrees to the west, so they're dipping towards the Isle Royale and not the Keweenaw Fault, or the Keweenaw side, so they dip towards this way. And then there are minor faults, folds, synclines, and anticlines, like I was saying. So they do it both. I mean, obviously, it's mainly, like I said, it's mainly a basin and a syncline because of just the shape of the structure, and that amplitude's an extending, or it has a extending distance of 10 kilometers. And the Keweenaw along the cross and has cross faults in it too. This provides the cross faults actually are pretty big because they provide pathways for the copper ore, which is huge. It was a huge resource that came out of Michigan, copper ore, and it has a lot of like dispositions of that. Like there's a lot of copper ore in there because of the cross sections and all of that going on inside the structure. So it's pretty interesting, and it's a lot of stuff that I didn't know before, and yeah, definitely cool and interesting structure, and that is the Keweenaw structure. Oh, here's another map of it too, or a little diagram of it in color. So yeah, but there it is.